Muscle pain, stiffness, and tightness don't just come from workouts. They come from sitting too long, standing all day, physical work, stress, and frankly, getting older. You've probably heard of TENS units. You may have heard of EMS. But most people don't really understand the difference, or why some devices now combine both. That's what we're going to clear up today. Now this video has two clear parts. In part one, I'm going to give you a plain language explanation of TENS and EMS, what they are, how they work, and what research actually supports. And in part two, we're going to talk about the Chirp Halo, which uses both TENS and EMS, and how their new pads expand how the system can be used across the body. Now, about a year ago, I did an in-depth review of the Chirp Halo, which is linked in the description below. Now, if you decide anytime during this video you'd like to get a Chirp Halo, please use the link in the description. It does give me a small commission, which helps support my channel. So this video, we have no hype, no miracle claims, just clarity. Hi, I'm Ralph, the Ageless Runner. Thank you for being here today. So what is TENS? TENS stands for Transcutaneous Electrical Nerve Stimulation. It's a real mouthful. TENS works by delivering small electrical pulses through pads placed on the skin. Those pulses target sensory nerves, not muscle fibers. The goal isn't to fix tissue or heal injury. The goal is to change how pain signals are perceived by the nervous system and to help muscles relax. TENS has been used in physical therapy and rehabilitation settings for decades. In fact, a large scientific review analyzing hundreds of randomized controlled trials found that pain intensity was lower during or immediately after TENS treatment compared with placebo, with no serious safety concerns reported. That's the key takeaway. TENS can provide short-term pain relief for many people, especially when used correctly. Well, what is EMS then? EMS stands for electrical muscle stimulation, and EMS works differently. Instead of targeting sensory nerves, EMS targets muscle tissue directly, causing muscle fibers to contract. EMS is commonly used in physical therapy, rehabilitation, muscle re-education, and post-exercise recovery. Those muscle contractions can increase local blood flow, help reduce muscle fatigue, and support muscle activation when normal movement is limited. EMS isn't about pain masking, it's about muscle engagement. From the outside, TENS and EMS look similar. Pads on the skin, electrical stimulation, and tingling or pulsing sensations. But they serve different purposes. TENS is for pain signaling and sensory modulation. EMS is muscle contraction and activation. They're not interchangeable, but they can be complementary. And here's the honest, evidence-based summary. Research supports TENS for short-term pain reduction in many people. Results vary by condition, placement, and intensity. Large evidence reviews also show mixed or low certainty evidence for some chronic pain conditions, which is why TENS isn't a cure-all. The most consistent finding across studies is this: TENS works best as a temporary pain management tool, not a long-term fix. EMS research supports its role in muscle activation and recovery, particularly in rehab and post-activity contexts. Together, TENS and EMS address different sides of discomfort, nerves and muscles. So what is the Chirp Halo? The Chirp Halo combines both TENS and EMS in a single wireless system. That matters. Most basic devices do one or the other. The Halo is designed to use TENS for pain modulation and use EMS for muscle activation and support. Depending on the program selected, the device emphasizes one or the other, or a blend. Now, one quick but important clarification: the Halo is not connected to your phone. You don't need an app to use the Halo. There's no Bluetooth control, so there's no app-based intensity adjustment. All the control happens in the Halo controller itself, which we'll look at in a minute. Program selection, intensity, session timing, all those are in the controller. There is a Halo app, though, but it's purely educational. It shows pad placement guidance, and it helps explain what each of the preset programs are designed to do. Once you understand the system, the app isn't required. Now, before we get into new pads, I do want to give you a little demo of the Chirp Halo. Now, I did a more extensive review about a year ago, and if you want more details and a more in-depth discussion on all the nuances, please see that video, which is linked below. This is going to be more of a high-level demo before we dive into looking at the new pads. Now, it's a quick demo of how to use the Halo. You can use the pad you want. I'm going to use the quad pad for the purpose of this demo. Just pick the pad you want, peel it off the backing. Now, these pads do not last forever, but you'll get 15 to 20 uses out of them. And there are some instructions on how to prolong that a little bit by using some rinsing and some water. If you place it on the area you want, take your stimulator, and there's two connections on the back. Stick those on the two connections on the pad. You'll actually hear them snap into place. Hold the button, you'll see the light circling. Take your controller, turn it on, and you'll see it's connected. There'll be a bright dot at there'll be a bright solid dot at the top saying that one's connected. I'll turn this one on too, and it's connected. I got two dots. And then you pick the program you want. I'm going to do the squeeze. I hit squeeze and I start adjusting the intensity. And pretty soon I start feeling it. I'm feeling it in both my quads right now. So it's pretty easy, straightforward to use. No wires in doing a very simple muscle like this. So these are the quad pads. So as I said, Chirp has introduced a lot of new muscle-specific pads. And this is where the Halo system really expands. Instead of the generic round pads, Chirp now offers body-specific pads designed to fit common problem areas. These pads don't change the science, but they do improve placement accuracy, comfort, and consistency of stimulation. And consistency matters with both TENS and EMS. And this is where the Halo system becomes more versatile. So let's walk through each of these pads one by one. I'm going to start with the foot pad. The foot pad targets arch soreness, heel discomfort, general foot fatigue. So it's useful for if you've been on your feet all day, you experience stiffness first thing in the morning, or your feet are tired after walking, exercise, or work, or if you're like me, running a lot. It covers a broad surface area which helps stimulate multiple nerve pathways at once. Then there's the calf pad. The calf pad wraps around the lower leg and stays in place very well. It's helpful for tight calves, muscle fatigue, and soreness after prolonged standing, walking, or exercise. And calf tightness is a common issue, and when ignored, it often leads to problem areas. If you're like me, I have occasional problems with plantar fasciitis, and your calves and your feet are tied together. And when I stretch and relax my calves, it improves my feet. Then there's the quad pad, which targets the large muscle on the front of the thigh. This pad is useful after physical work, strength training, maybe did a lot of squats at the gym, long walks or runs, or any activity that leaves the legs feeling heavy. Because the quads are large muscles, broader coverage matters, and this pad delivers that. Then there's the knee pad. The knee pad is designed to surround the joint, not stimulate the joint itself, but the muscles and nerves around it. This can be helpful for general knee soreness, stiffness after activity, or age-related sensitivity. Now, an important reminder, TENS does not fix structural knee problems, but reducing surrounding muscle tension can make the knee feel less stiff and more comfortable during daily movement. Then we have the TFL IT band. This band targets the TFL muscle, which TFL stands for something I can't pronounce. I'm not even going to attempt it. But it's in the hip flexor area, and so it often contributes to outer leg tightness. So it's useful for hip stiffness, lateral thigh discomfort, or tension caused by prolonged sitting or repetitive movement. And again, this pad, like all the pads, are best used during recovery, not during activity. I often get sore IT bands, and I find using this pad can help relax that and feel better. Then there's a lower back pad. Who doesn't have lower back tension? It's incredibly common. And so this pad is ideal for end-of-day stiffness, desk work fatigue, long car rides, or general postural tension. This pad is less about pain elimination and more about relaxation and decompression. Then we have the glute pad. This is one pad I cannot demo for you. If I did that, I'd probably get an R rating on my video. But the glute pad targets one of the most important and often neglected muscle groups in the body. It's helpful for prolonged sitting, low back support, and post-activity muscle fatigue. You know, I just did a video recently on strengthening your glutes, which are very important for running and running speed. So relaxed, functional glutes support better posture and overall movement. So those are the pads. Remember, each pad is simply a delivery tool. What matters is how TENS and EMS is applied through it, which you're going to select programs and intensity and duration through the controller. So here's the straight talk. The Halo isn't a miracle device. It won't replace good movement habits or medical care. But if you deal with recurring muscle aches, if stiffness limits how comfortably you move, if you want a non-drug option for managing soreness, the Halo, especially with these new pads, becomes a flexible, practical tool. Used consistently and realistically and help you feel better and move better day to day. Again, if you decide to purchase a Halo, please use the link in the description below. This gives me a small commission from the sale, which helps support my channel. Now, this video helped clarify how TENS and EMS works, or whether the Halo makes a sense for you. Give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please click that subscribe button also. And if you have questions about specific pads or use cases, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Again, I'm Ralph, the Ageless Runner.